Being creative can be lonely and isolating. And in this video, I want to talk about times in which working as a creative has been very isolating and lonely. And I've been a creative now for over 10 years. I've worked for myself, been self-employed, a self-employed video editor, videographer. And over that time, I found more often than not, I'm working on my own and putting in hours above and beyond what other people do just to earn pittance, to earn bugger all. And I just want to talk about how isolating it is, how you can end up working in a silo. So for about 4 years, I was creating video content for the NHS. Now this was a great contract and I really appreciated working with the NHS for all that time. And when I was working in the team that I worked with, we would often talk over Discord. There was about 4 of us on the team and we did all of our planning, all of our pre-production, all of everything, all the post-production, all of that was done over Discord. So we rarely ever met up in person. And over this time, we spoke every day on Discord, but something about it just felt, like I said, that term, working in silos. Sometimes you get so into editing one certain video, the day has gone, it's completely gone, and you haven't really talked to anyone. And more often than not, we were actually sat in the Discord all muted. So we weren't actually talking to each other, but we were there in case we wanted to ask each other any questions, in case we had any sort of technical problems or any of that sort of thing. Then we could unmute and maybe even just do a little check-in, say something silly, try and make someone laugh, and then go back to work. But over this time, I'm working from home. So I'm not really going out. I'm not in an office with other people. I'm just sat at my computer on my own. So it is very isolating. And this is where it's a big contrast. Say if you're still in school or college or an educational setting, it's like you're forced to be around people. And that is something where now I'm older and I look back, I actually really appreciated being around so many people. There's a sort of energy it brings to you. And I imagine this is what it's like to work in an office with other people, like an open plan office potentially, where there's tons of people. There's room for sort of like camaraderie with your co-workers. You can work in teams, you can work towards the same goals. But then when you're a creative, more often than not, you're working on your own. Unless you're like part of a big media company, you're probably going to be working on your own. And I felt this even more since I've been focusing on YouTube. I've been uploading to YouTube since going back 2007, but I've been seriously uploading to YouTube for just over a year now. And over that time, I've spent most of it on my own. Other than getting some help to film a couple of videos, I'm just doing it all on my own. I'm doing all the editing decisions, I'm making all the thumbnails, I'm watching videos to research how to do titles better, my thumbnails better. All of the learning, everything, bouncing ideas are off of myself. I might write some notes and then have to go back through those notes the next day. I'm not bouncing those ideas off anyone. It's very isolating. And I imagine that this is what it's like for a lot of creative endeavours. If you're an artist, whatever medium that you create art in, it's just you and the canvas, you and whatever you're creating, and you're alone. And I've seen this with other local creatives in my town. I've worked with a couple to make videos promoting their work, and it is just it's an isolating experience. And this makes me feel that expressing yourself, being creative, practicing your craft is an isolating experience in itself, because you need that space to just be you, without judgment, without people looking at you, without people wanting to put their ideas into your vision. It's just you and the medium that you're working with. And how do I feel about this? How do I feel about it being an isolating experience? Well, I do find that when I lock in and I do some focused work, I make something that I'm proud of. And whether people listen to this or not, it feels like I'm expressing myself. And I think that matters more than the isolating experience of creating. Because right now, I'm sat downstairs in a room with my eyes closed, just talking into a microphone. Everyone else in the house is asleep, and I've almost isolated myself on purpose. I do that quite a lot. Isolate myself on purpose, shut myself away, put myself in the office so I can focus on what I'm doing. But like I said, that focus naturally separates me from the others around me. And I find I get my connection through seeing the comments on the videos, seeing the reaction to the videos. See, that's one of the most valuable things, is seeing how people react to the art that you're putting out there. And I think that this is becoming more and more valuable as AI content and AI generated stuff gets put out there. These human videos, these human thoughts, I think become more and more valuable to people. They want to connect with someone. I mean, in the day-to-day world that we live in, I think many of us are very isolated. Bar talking to a couple of people, the people in our immediate surroundings, we are shut away. Especially the kind of people that I grew up with, the kind of people that are similar to me. If you're anything like me, you might be a gamer, someone who maybe only talks to their friends online. Maybe you've got friends all around the world and you only talk on Discord. You meet up just to play a certain game. You might have friends that you only speak to when you play a certain game. And then when that game's done and you're all disconnected, you're back alone, on your own with your thoughts. And while some people may enjoy this, I think over time that this can really have an effect on your mental health. And the times when I actually go out and I go to the gym and I'm in the community, I like to say that the gym is my community centre. When I actually go there, I feel much more connected to the world. And I even have days where I will just go to town just to feel like I'm a part of society again. Because I find that a lot of the time, the more I pour my energy into being a creative, the more separated I feel from society. Because I'm not listening to any news, I'm not listening to any current events, I'm not paying attention to any of that. I'm just creating what I want to create. And then sometimes I just feel like I need to be part of society again. And like I said, that's when I go to town, just to be surrounded by people. I'm still on my own. I'm walking through town. I'm not with anyone. I might sit down and get something to eat and people watch. Just watch people walking past, looking at all the different kinds of faces passing me by, and just looking. There's something very enjoyable about that. It's almost like you can put yourself into the mode of the observer. I heard this a lot when I was in therapy. That is, become the observer. Your thoughts are going to happen whether you like it or not. And it's almost training yourself to be the observer of those thoughts. And I feel like when you actually get into the mood to do people watching, you sit down in the middle of town and you watch people rush by. I personally, anyway, feel that I can enter the state of the observer. And again, it's isolating. I'm almost withdrawing from myself. I stop experiencing my bodily feelings, and all I'm experiencing is the information coming into my eyes. I'm just seeing the people around me, and it's almost like I can feel the energy of the people rushing by. People might be rushing to buy things. People might be having a holiday and experiencing the town for the first time. People might be having arguments in the street. People with relationship problems walk past. People who are in love walk past. People in all different stages of life just walking past. Young people, old people, new mums and dads, all sorts of people. And I'm just there observing. And then I get home and I might feel rejuvenated to create again. So, isolation, loneliness. It seems to me that these things may be hand in hand with being a creative. Or It's just I'm one of those people that are more predisposed to isolation. And it's like society now, a lot of people are isolated because it's so easy to disconnect yourself from the real world. Doom scrolling through Facebook and Instagram feeds, just staring at social media, not even noticing what's going around you. It is isolating. And I like to have a return to community. And again, that's just why I find the gym so valuable. I've met so many people in the gym, and you can talk to anyone in the gym. No matter what social status, no matter what background someone is, when you're in the gym, you're all equals. And that's what I love about my local gym. And I know this video is about being isolated, working in silos, but that seems to me one of the ways that you can heal this. And that is to find your local community. Find your place where you can be you and talk to other people. And it doesn't have to be the gym, but for me, that's where I find value, connection, and a reprieve from being isolated. Just before I end this video, just want to quickly say when I have felt my lowest, most isolated and anxious, I will go down to the gym, just on my own. Usually I like to go to the gym with a gym buddy, but I'll go down to the gym and just hope to talk to someone. And every time I've done that, it's almost like I put out this energy and someone will talk to me. Someone new I've never talked to before. Someone I've met in the gym once or twice. Someone that I've talked to regularly at the gym. Someone will talk to me. And just talking to someone, even if it's just a hello, how are you? What lift are you working on today? Even just that makes me feel so much better.